guys, welcome to game 2 between Bhruic and Legion. It's ESL EU number 7 Weekend Cup kind of final match. So I'm kind of watching just to see if Bhruic does anything I can learn from. Because Ork is probably my main race at this point, although I am trying to play a lot more Elder now that they're kind of underpowered. Just so I could kind of, I don't know, I like playing the underpowered race because I learned how to play the game better. Like, even in 2 years, I'm going to apply knowledge that I learned about Eldar today. Like, I learned how to use the Warp Spider Teleport really well, but it's hard to do that. But maybe in 2 years, I'll be able to do that really well. So I know a lot of really... Okay, this Arsenal... I understand wanting to build while you're capping, but if you're going to build it in such a forward position, you have to keep in mind that it's probably going to die. And I think Legion's switched up his playstyle. He did mass ASMs last time. He has got slow death. He has got tax. So he's probably going to go for a flamer heavy playstyle this time. No tireless though, which I find really, really strange. Maybe he's just not using it because he doesn't want to cheese. But we do have a voice hut coming here. Kind of a slow walk tower for Bhruic, in my opinion. I think you really need to get that up like ASAP. Because then you can start getting power guns up, start getting upgrades, start getting all that useful stuff. But you also start generating scrap. That's everything. Sooner, look at his listening post. It's gonna get spotted. That's a really greedy listening post. So he's gonna lose that. What I would do if I were Bhruic, I would let him get that to like. I guess he's gonna get it anyway. It's like 75%. Let him get it really close and then attack, and let him think he's gonna get it, and then you just focus fire at the listening post. So he is going to try and defend this. Again, one thing Bhruic does that I really don't like is he doesn't use his shout ability for the bonus damage. So he's focus fire in the listening post. No, he's not. Never mind. This listening post might actually... No, it's not going to get up at all. He needs to put these Gretchens on the standard. Oh, forcing Legion to run away. That works too. We're probably going to see Flamer upgrade pretty soon here once Legion has the money for it. He might have... He already got it on this tack. Okay, so we do have one Flamer tack over here. So at this point, I think Bhruic's in a pretty good spot. He's got one requisition generator, which is all he really needs. And then I would like to see him get his elite point generator once again, and get his Weird Boy and Stormblaze on the field quite a bit quicker. This tax squad being really brave with this harass. This is what kind of harass you can get away with when you have tireless. It's not the kind of harass you can get away with when you don't. He is activating Log here, but I think he's actually going to run outside the range here if he's not aware of it. At this point, you just let him kill the Recgen and get the Wog, but instead he's going to completely whiff his Wog. He might get on to shoot us, that's not bad. But, I don't know. Like, yeah, he's going to kill his tack, but he kind of wasted a Wog timing push. This would have given him the opportunity to push on the map. Neither player get the elite point generator. I find this fascinating. Like, I know a lot of people don't like the investment, they find it risky, but, like, it's always worth getting on this map because it's harder to harass it. Especially when you're dominating the map like Bhruic is. So we are seeing a very defensive listening post style from Legion. And granted, it's going to be really strong right now because Bhruic kind of wasted his Wog. And without Wog, listening posts take a long time to kill. You're going to take a ton of damage. And he's not going to get any upgrades. You could get upgrades, so it would be good. But at this point, I think we need to see... I would actually rather see the scrap on the boys at this point, actually, than the shooters, because instead of grenades, you could just have a lot more health on those boys, and that would help him a lot against these listening posts. But he probably doesn't know about them. But we are seeing a Doctrine Chapel coming up for Legion. So he just has one Flame attack at this point. He's suicided his ever attack ring, and he's just rushing for the Doctrine Chapel. I'm not sure what we're going to see here. We might see a Devastator, and that would be okay. It would be, you might say, devastating. But I don't know. This is an interesting kind of turtle style we're seeing from Legion. I think that harass was a bit suicidal. It's a lot of money to throw away, but hey, whatever. So Bhruic's playing very passive here, waiting for scrap. I would like to see a second Wog Tower up, like right in the middle here, and I want to see him push something. He's use Wog and push something. There's no standard. There's no drop pods. It's all on cooldown. So it would be not something to see. We do have a second tack coming out instead of a Devastator, so I don't know. You rush the Doctrine Chapel, and then you aren't going to get anything from it. Although he did build the tack from the Doctrine Chapel, which is useful. That is actually the real reason I think we're seeing a lot more Devastator play with the new patch, is because tacks come from that building, and people are building lots of tacks, so it's kind of intuitive to do both. So we aren't seeing build a Wog Tower back here. I think that's a little defensive. I think you need to build it more forward. So we're going to see another Wog. We are going to see him pick up more scrap at this point. He is building an elite point generator. He did build it. Okay, good. So we're going to see him get the Weed Boy right away here, I think, and that's going to be a real force multiplier for him. So he's letting Legion, this turtle style is working out very well for him because Bhruic is playing relatively passive after capturing the middle of the map. Personally, I like to always be attacking. The one thing Bhruic does that triggers me like hard, again, I've said this multiple times, is he doesn't use Shout. That's like half your damage. Easily. Like, boys, you really need to use Shout. You really need to use Wog. So he's using Wog. We're finally seeing a lot more Wog usage than we saw previously, whereas most people didn't really use it. Deathwatch is coming in here just to defend, and he does have... I don't know why the Diomedes presence is showing up. I'm pretty sure that was only effective when Diomedes is actually on the field. Maybe that's just a bug. So that Flamer was a complete whiff. And then we do have a Heavy Bolter coming out. So at this point, I think Bhruic is still in the lead, but I think we're starting to see Space Marines get an army that can really contend with this Orc army. It's still a relatively light Orc army. Getting a third shooter, again, I don't like that. I would have liked to see a Daka Hut and start transition. We do have a pile of guns up here. Maybe we're going to see a Longo Wog or some upgrades. I would like to see damage, actually. Damage is underrated because with Wog, the multipliers multiply, and that gives you way more damage. So you end up actually with way more than 15% damage if you get damage first and use Wog. So it's actually, if in an Orc mirror especially, if they get health and you get damage, you will do more damage than they have extra health. Not quite as much, and if they don't get damage at all, like a lot of players don't get upgrades at all, you're going to be doing tons of damage. So he's getting a longer Wog, which is good. I don't know if it affects it middle of the Wog. I think it does, but I don't think it's actually going to finish upgrading by the time this Wog's going to be over by the time it finishes. So we are seeing, I think, a second Devastator. No, yeah, a second Devastator coming. And Deathwatch is all healed up, ready to go. Okay, yeah, it's not activated because Diomedes isn't here. Okay. So he's going to kill his listening post. Again, not using Shout. This banner is ill-advised, I think. But he's not standing on the banner, so it doesn't matter. But he's not in the banner either. So I don't know about this for Legion. I think Bhruic's just going to steamroll this now that he has his extra DPS from the third shooter. He just has a critical massive range DPS, and you know, Legion just doesn't have enough units. He did kill a Boy Squad, though. Boy Squad mismanaged, and he does have 2 Devastators and a Flame Attack. So Flame Attack survives. So I shouldn't count Legion out just yet. He does have the tools he needs to be successful here, but no upgrades. So this, you know, he's just got the Flamer. Upgrades would be pretty good. We do have. Okay, so he went up like heavy on Wog Towers to get called to Wog. That's interesting. Before any damage or health. The problem is, I guess he still has 2 boys, but like, I'm not against using an upgrade at all. I'm just against not getting the other upgrades. So he spent all this power getting Wog level 4 so he could get this upgrade, when instead he could have had both health and damage for all of his units in the same time frame. I don't know. Like, it's not bad. It's a really good upgrade, actually. It's a really underused upgrade, but I don't think he's in the situation where he really needs that. We are seeing probably another Devastator coming down. No, it's another attack. We're probably going to see another Flavor Attack. And we are seeing Vehicle Health 1 and a Machine Call. So at this point, maybe we're going to see a Whirlwind. That would be pretty good. Even like a Land Speeder would be fine because Bhruic has neglected to build a Daka Hut at all. So he doesn't really have much in the way AT. He has Zapnoggin and the Storboy Bomb, and that's it. So he's going to be in a bad position against any vehicles, I think. Still no, yeah, no Daka. Okay, that might be the Daka. No, oh yeah, there's the Daka. Okay, so he used Wog there on some units, and he's gonna attack those listening posts. But again, not using the Shout for the bonus damage, so I'm kind of disappointed. And Storboy's going in by themselves here. Yeah, that's the wise move. Kill the Servitor and run away. I don't think it doesn't cost him anything to do that. So that's one thing. He needs to also, one thing you need to be aware of even in your own play. I do this sometimes too. Check all the bushes for workers just to kind of limit his vision. If you limit his vision, it gives you a lot more options. When you use Wog, a lot of players get really nervous, especially if you make a habit of attacking when you use Wog, and they try and guess where you're going to be attacking. So you can do, if you destroy their vision, they just have to completely guess, and that'll. I do like this forward Wog Tower. I think you should have got this earlier, but this is a good spot because it's going to give him vision on these stairs. And I do believe these guys won't see it until they get to the top of the stairs, unless it shoots them. So we are seeing more vehicle upgrades. I wonder what vehicle. He's probably going for a whirlwind, but I don't. He's not going for any vehicle. So maybe he's saving it for a dreadnought, and that's not a bad choice, I suppose, because that'll be even more devastating. Although he's kind of missing his window. No, he's building a lance. Oh, las cannon. I thought I heard las. I don't know. I thought I heard land speeder. I was like, what? Las cannon's pretty good, I think, but at the same time, I don't think it's that necessary, actually, unless he's going to try and flank. Oh, and he uses shout, and then he leaves it. Okay, he did use shout eventually, but I don't know about that. So he's getting a dreadnought. The problem with his dreadnought is a solo dreadnought might struggle, and I think the next unit from Bhruic's going to be tank busters. So tank busters, bomb squid, rocket barrage, and zap noggin, and the boy stuns. I don't know if it's going to be as effective as it needs to be, but we're seeing some upgrades coming out. We're seeing infantry health level 2 being produced, I believe. Maybe that's level 1, I think. I think he's upgraded to level 1 right now, and then he'll have the option to build level 2. So Zapnog did a good job in the bush, just poking. I think Legion's been playing way too defensively. Now we're starting to see these points. These points have all fallen to Bhruic, and Legion can't retake them without losing his shield gen. So he's in a bad position. He's kind of he sat back a little too much, and he's kind of missed his window, I think, saving up for the Dreadnought. I think if he would have got a Whirlwind, he could have had it up much earlier than that Dreadnought, and he could have started doing some damage with it. Every 30 seconds, he got a barrage, and I think that would have let him get back in this game. But at this point, I think between the rocket barrage and the bomb squig and Wog and Weird Boy, I think this Dreadnought is going to be very hard pressed to get anything done. He also has the option of using rocks, so that's also something else to look out for. These attacks just being shot at. I don't know about this. This engagement is not good for Legion, but he can call the Dreadnought in anytime he wants. Okay, yeah, there's a Dreadnought. The Death Watch is going to go down here. I do like this, using the shield on the Devastators to keep him alive. And this Dreadnought is dropping in right on the Tank Busters. But I think chasing these Tank Busters is a mistake. You need to commit to this fight. And he's losing all his units now, actually, and wasted his standard. And so, yeah, he has the Dreadnought out, but he has nothing else, and he's just gonna get killed by the Weird Boy and Tank Buster. And yeah, there's no units out for Legion, and we got a big track coming. That's pretty bold, but it's not a bad unit to get in this kind of situation where your Dreadnoughts are on the field. So, you know, I think this is pretty much over for Legion. We're just gonna zoom in again a little bit. So we're gonna see Diomedes get trickled down slowly over time. This Dreadnought slowly get trickled down. And we are seeing these boys harass his shield gen. Bomb Squid coming out. Bomb Squid does a ton of damage. They're actually would allow tank buses to really fight a unit like this. This Bomb Squid combined with the that shield went really far. The Diomedes going down, Dreadnought going down, and I think that's it for Mr. Legion. He should have got that Whirlwind. I think he still could. He could totally spend some of these resources. I think a lot of people get a little crazy. And we do have vehicle damage level 2, so I don't know, I would have liked to see the Whirlwind instead. You kind of missed this timing window to have the vehicle uncontested, and now we got 2 big tracks, which is, Bhruic finally pushed the economy button, the macro button. But not using his big tracks extremely well, granted, so, you know, whatever. Doesn't need to, though. He could just attack, move over here, and be just fine. Not using Boy's. He did get the upgrade for health on Boyce, which is I really appreciate. He only got level 2. Level 2 is kind of the breaking point, though. That's when you get 45% more health. That's pretty significant. And you just see how tanky these boys are. The little blocks of health on their hit bar, I think that's like 500 hit points or something ridiculous. So you can see the difference it makes. Tank busters have about 30% more health. Well, tank busters 45%. You know what I mean? They have like 800, now they have 1200. And then this turret's gonna go down to all this stuff. Big tracks being used in artillery mode, which is what I like to see. And yeah, this game is pretty much done. We're just waiting for Bhruic to kill him. So again, I don't think Bhruic did anything that really astounded me, which I'm a bit disappointed in. Like, he played well, obviously. I'm just saying, like, as a fellow Orc player who I think have my own style kind of carved out really well, I'm not really seeing anything here that makes me go, oh wow, I should try that. I've seen a few things that I shouldn't do, and a few things I need to keep in mind. But yeah, I mean, he played really well, and that was really fun to watch. But I think that was just Legion playing some really weird playstyles. Thanks for watching. Bye.